Hello. Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing? Why the hell did the music stop? Get back here, music. Nobody told you you can stop. Hello, everyone. How is everybody doing? Then again, there is nobody out there, is there? I'm just talking to the void, like. But I don't want to get sad right away. Good morning, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon. Whatever time of day it is for you. We are designated as SCP D4 and 30 now. Welcome! Wherever you're watching this, whether it's in the present, in the future, or somehow in the past, how are you doing this? Magic! That's black magic, burn the witch. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna turn off the music. It's too happy for this. Well, not too happy, it's too upbeat. Also, let me just make myself slightly larger. Because this stream is basically gonna start with us doing a bit of a just talking and, well, I need to make sure that I talk about some stuff first before we basically do anything else today. So, some of you have probably already read the title, and some of you may be noticing that in chat, it is currently basically impossible for anybody to chat. I made that deliberately so that I can just talk about stuff and basically not have anything interrupt the words that are gonna come out of my mouth. And also, I just don't really want anybody to be sad or to take this in the wrong way, because there is technically good news. But let's start from the beginning. First of all, hello. I am SCP-D4N13L. Honestly, how long has it been since I've started streaming? About a year and a half, I think. We've passed the 1 year mark. And I think it's been an additional 3 or 5 months, something like that. Almost half a year. So I've been streaming for almost a year and a half at this point. Although, if any of you have been following this channel consistently, you would also know that it was with technically a lot of impromptu breaks and just things that were in the way and basically always consistently breaking the consistency of these streams. And hold on. I don't know if you can hear those beeps. Just shut them up. It's kind of annoying. But yeah. Basically, this channel has been going through a lot of technical difficulties, so to speak, and a lot of scuff. And I think I've even talked about this a while ago, where this is basically a curse. Every time I try to do something, it either falls apart, doesn't work out, or just straight up is bad. Even though I put all of my effort into it, even though I honestly am trying my best to entertain the people who come to watch these streams, even though I'm trying my best to have good, fun streams to watch, somehow it either breaks apart completely or is just scuffy to the point where, well, people probably wouldn't want to watch it. And I'm not trying to, like, say this in a mean way about myself, because I have been doing my best. Like, I have been trying to do lots of stuff. I have been trying to make lots of stuff. And I am proud of myself for everything that I've been able to do. I'm not just gonna shit on my own efforts, if that makes any sense. I do know uh, to give myself credit or to give myself a pat on the back uh, for the stuff that I can give myself a pat on the back. But also, I do understand my limitations. I do understand that I am obviously not that good of a streamer, honestly. Like, there are so many people who are so much better than me at this. And if I'm honest, this kind of a question has always been in my head. And I was just kind of pushing it back because, well, I'm new to this. I knew that this wouldn't be an easy road. I knew that I would have to make effort and I would have to try and I would have to fail many, many times before I'll be able to be better and improve myself and become, I guess, a better streamer. But the thing about failing over and over again, um, how would be the best way to describe it? Mm, okay, this might be a weird analogy, but bear with me here. Imagine you're on a boat. Imagine you start sailing and you have a vague destination in mind. And by vague destination, I mean you know a direction that you're going to. You know that something is there, but you have no idea when you will get to that destination, and you have no idea what's gonna happen on your travels to said destination. You have a new boat, a very new one. It might not be the best boat. It's like, I don't know, not a dinghy, I guess, but you were able to get yourself a good enough boat that would get you to whatever destination you're trying to get to. And that was basically the start of this channel. A new boat, something that I was proud that I was able to uh, build and start the adventure with. And at the start of anything, basically, you have a lot of motivation. You have a lot of willpower. You have a lot of preparation that has been made to that moment. So you're able to dedicate pretty much 100% of yourself to this journey, to this task, whatever it is that you're trying to do, to this sailing on a boat. And when you start, it will probably be fairly consistent, fairly okay. You might have some problems here and there because you've never sailed a boat before. Or for me, I've never streamed before. So obviously, I would be confused, I would be making mistakes, and I would be trying to fix them throughout the first few weeks slash months of the adventure. And that is pretty much what happened. I remember when I actually started streaming, the audio quality was way worse. Uh, I basically just used a um, what's his face? Uh, the wrong settings for pretty much everything that I have in my recording software, and shit was crap. Basically, it was just not as good. But eventually, I was able to get a little bit better. I got the hang of how to use the recording program. I got the hang of how to use the VTuber model that my VTuber mama made me, VTuber graphics. And I was able to stream a little bit more naturally. Although, I will say, even back then, I already knew that these kind of problems will probably appear. I hope that they wouldn't appear as often, but I also knew that I was new. That stuff will be bad, that stuff uh, will break and or, I guess, um, well, fail, basically. But I had a positive mind. I had a lot of hope, and I've also had, I guess, a reason to be very, very motivated at the time, which I will come back to this reason a bit later in this talk. So I guess remember it. And if I connect it to the boat analogy, um, I guess imagine what was his name? Captain something that was trying to get that whale. Uh, I don't remember, but I'm just gonna give a random name. Captain Billy. Um, there's that famous story where he was just very motivated to get this whale and like didn't want to give up no matter what. And I don't remember what was his motivation per se, but I think it's just the persistence of this whale to evade him, which gave him motivation to keep pursuing this whale or something like that. I am probably incorrect in this, but let's just say that that is kind of the reasoning, because it does kind of make sense. And at least for me, I guess the reason that I was able to try so hard and I was able to put efforts into this is because both this channel as well as a few other places have basically become my happy place. And these happy places were the motivation for me to keep going. To basically have the winds in my sails, to be able to try harder, and to, well, basically just do my best, whether it's in streaming or also in regular life, pretty much. Oh, I'm gonna drink some coffee. Anyway, time goes by. Things were pretty normal until um, what was the first stone that broke the ship? Uh, I don't exactly remember if it was the current uh, situation that's going in my country, or it was something else before that. But oh, wait, no, yeah, there was something else before that. Because I don't remember too much about it, I'm not gonna go into too much detail. But there was something that happened back then, which actually made me uh, pretty much lose a connection to a, I guess you could say, family member. That would be the best way to describe that, which kind of made me a little bit sad because, well, it is pretty much sad. Um, but I still kept my head strong. I still kept going. Then there was just general streaming stuff, as far as I remember. And then there was the current situation, which was an extreme rock that just hit everybody, not just me. And that was like a major thing that already halted some of my ability to stream because, well, we had to be safe, we had to take shelter, and I just couldn't stream consistently because of all of that sort of stuff. But more than that, it honestly uh, destroyed my, I guess, not sanity. It destroyed my emotional state at that time. But that was also around the time that I pretty much acquired the happiest of places I could ever wish for. And I guess I will talk about that a little bit later, but just remember that basically there was the big bad, but also there was a big light that somehow still kept me going. And so I decided to continue streaming. We streamed, I think we had my birthday a little bit after that. It was really fun. And we kept streaming, we kept having inconsistent streams, but at least once in a while we've had some good ones. And I was honestly getting a little bit better in my own emotional state because of this happy place that I've got. So back then, I already said, okay, I'm going to use this new motivation to try and, I guess, fix the inconsistency and the scuff in my channel. I've already had a lot of plans to be able to like do it. I prepared a literal schedule of me just trying to work on stuff, to even just complete very small tasks, uh, week by week, until I was able to reach a much more sustainable, um, I guess, state for this channel, and just generally quality of the channel. Um, and this is where the second rock hits. Because literally after that, after I think about a month or two after the whole situation started, uh, there were two or no, three kind of personal things that were happening to me, which could technically mean three rocks, not just one, but uh, I'm just gonna say that it's like a three rock made boulder. Just imagine yourself a boulder that is made out of three rocks, I guess. Um, but each of those was connected to different stuff in my personal life. And each of those have once again pretty much destroyed my emotional state. And I was like, God damn it, not again. And you probably could notice me at the time that I was already kind of struggling with it. But I told myself, this is not my first rodeo. It doesn't matter how many stones they throw at me. I'm gonna get back up, and I'm gonna try again, and I'm gonna try harder than I tried before. Because I've now been pretty much set back, so I definitely need to try at least a little bit harder if I want to keep uh, on schedule. And maybe it'll just take a little bit more time, but as long as I try hard and I keep at it, eventually I will succeed in what I wanted to do. And lo and behold, time goes by. And I am pretty much unable to fix any of these rocks. These are three consistent things that I've been trying to fix for pretty much a year now. And nothing. Pretty much nothing. I'm still carrying these rocks in my ship for some reason. I was able to make a dent in them. Um, I'm not going to go into detail why, because it's personal stuff and I don't want to bother you with my personal stuff. But I was able to make a dent in one of them. And yeah, that's basically that. So I just continued sailing and going, and what was the next thing? Um I don't remember. There was another something that happened, but I guess it was insignificant. Or maybe I just dealt with it and I don't remember. But there was another smaller thing that happened. But I'm just gonna say that basically for a year I've been sailing with these rocks. And I will also say that while working on this channel, while trying to do this kind of stuff, I was also trying to do a lot of stuff in my personal life. And I guess the fact that I was trying to do so many things, the fact that I was basically overworking myself in every way possible, just made me break my own ship pretty much this whole time without me even really noticing it. Because I've only been able to truly notice it last month. I've actually literally had a, I guess, mental breakdown, you could call it. And I was resting in my room, and I basically just burst into tears out of nowhere. Like, it wasn't even like natural, I guess. It was just sudden extreme anxiety attack, if that makes any sense. And I will say, I do suffer from anxiety attacks because of all of the stress and all of the situations and all of that sort of stuff. Not even with everything that's been going on ever since I've started my channel, but pretty much my whole life. Because of stuff that I've been through as a child, because of stuff that I've been through in school, in high school, pretty much everywhere. It developed in a bad way. But last month was basically the first time where it hit like 100 stones. Like, imagine, I guess, have you ever seen the movie 300, the Sparta movie? Uh, I'm not gonna tell too many spoilers, but somewhere towards the end, there's this scene where the enemy army just launches a ton of spears or arrows. I don't remember what it was. I think it was spears. At uh, the the general, whoever it is. I don't remember his name. So just imagine that, but stones, like giant, huge boulders, flying towards your face, and every single one of them hits you. Not that are not spread like just falling on the ground. Every single one of them just bonks you on the head, falls off, and leaves for the next stone to bonk you on the head. And that's basically how I felt. Now, some of you who might know me on a little bit of a personal level probably didn't even notice it. Mostly because, well, it happened during my private time, so there's no way that anybody would know it. Um, but also because I pretty much didn't talk to almost anyone about this. I think only one person. Only one person knows. Uh, Wait, hold up. This is what I hate about anxiety. It just fucking creeps on top of you out of nowhere. I can literally feel it building up. Sorry. Don't worry about me. Anyway. But yeah, only one person basically knows some of the stuff that I'm going through. Like, I probably even didn't tell them everything fully. Mostly because, well, it's my stuff. I don't want to involve anybody else in this. I don't want people to, I guess, um, worry too much about this. But, um, yeah, basically that. And oh, I also forgot to, I guess, mention something else before this stuff that happened last month, because a lot of other things were happening around it. Um, but I guess if I were to say, or if I were to describe it, is one of those things is I've also noticed that I am basically beginning to lose one of my happiest of places. I noticed it for a while, honestly, but I just didn't want to pay much attention to it because I just thought that I'm overthinking it, that I am just, I guess, uh, emotionally attacking myself about this because I was sad at the time, so I thought, nah, it's just the anxiety that's trying to get me down even further, and like the voice in your head that tells you, oh, things are bad, you're never gonna succeed, blah blah blah, and all that sort of stuff. Um, and it actually pretty much combined with this 100 stone situation. And after that, I started noticing other things. I will say some of them are definitely my fault. Some of them are me just being stupid. Some of them are me being a little bit selfish, if I'm honest. Because, well, I was sad. I wanted to be happy. And I still wanted to try, or rather keep trying my hardest. There is a not so famous saying, um, or maybe, I mean, it kind of is and isn't at the same time. There is the saying, when you fall off your horse, you get back up and you ride that horse again. And personally, there's an even bigger motivational quote that I absolutely love. If any of you ever watched Team 4 Stars, Dragon Ball Z Averaged, you might know what I'm talking about. Um, but they have this whole episode of Gohan fighting Perfect Cell, and they basically have a last standoff. And there is a little bit of a build up to this point with this uh, horse situation, but uh, at that scene, I don't remember if I can say it exactly how it's happening, but Gohan is basically having a beam struggle fight with Cell, and he is noticeably um, doubtful of himself. I think I remember the words of like, uh, "Dad, I don't think I can do this. He's so much stronger than me," or something like that. Um, and then, hopefully, I remember the quote correctly. But then Goku answers him. Gohan, if you're not going to do this, everybody is going to die. Your mom, everybody on Earth is going to die, and even Piccolo is going to die. But before all of that, if you don't win this fight, you are going to die. And you're better than this. You're better than him. You're better than me. Then Gohan gets like a slight wind, or I guess power boost, and his beam becomes a little bigger. And then Goku continues, "You are more than just my son. You are Son Gohan. Uh, something something. Uh, I don't remember exactly." And then basically he kind of screams, "Now plant your feet, grit your teeth, and eat that horse," in like a very memorable way. I can't do it. I wish I could play the scene, um, but I guess any of you who have seen it kind of understand me. And basically, as Goku says that, Gohan gets a lot of energy back, or just uses more of his energy more effectively, and is almost able to outstruggle the beam at that point. Um, and then a bit more stuff happens, and eventually Gohan is able to win. And at least for me, that motivational quote has been very inspiring ever for pretty much ever since the first time that I've seen it, when it first was uh like that episode released on YouTube. I forgot where I was going with this. I'm sorry, my brain went off on a rant about Dragon Ball Z Averaged. Um, oh yeah. Um, so basically, I've had this motivational quote help me every time, and just the fact that like when you fall off your horse, you get back up and you try again. And in my case, I have fallen off this horse so many times. Some of them were small falls like Scuff, some of them were bigger falls like all of the stones, and some of them were even bigger falls like the 100 stones. And every time, because of this quote and because of my own belief in myself, eventually I was able to get back up. I might lie down for like a second or two, soaking in the damage from the fall, but eventually I would get back up and I would ride this horse again. And I would try harder than I tried before. But since this is a sad story, sadly, it ends in sad. The greatest description ever. Anyway, at least for me. Um, and the reason why is I've had a recent fall off this horse. I'm not going to go into too much detail. Some of it is my fault, I will admit that. Even though it wasn't my intention to, I guess, uh, be stupid or hurt somebody else, technically. Um, but it made me fall off this horse. And honestly, for the first time, I just don't want to get back up. I don't even know why. Compared to everything else, this is minuscule. Or at least it's supposed to be. Compared to everything else that I've been through, I should be able to just shake this off like dust and keep on going. But for some reason, I just don't really want to get back up. And that's pretty much my state at the moment. Now, I also understand that obviously just laying down, just being sad is not a good thing. And also, I will say, please don't worry. I'm not uh I'm not that broken to, I guess, be bad for myself or do stupid things. That honestly would never happen. So if anybody here is worrying uh that I'm gonna be destructive in any way, let's say it that way, don't worry, I'm not that I'm not that stupid. Um, but I was basically thinking for the past week, uh, that I should somehow take a break. That I should somehow step back and maybe go back to horse school, if that makes any sense. Because, well, as I said, I've been just falling off this horse so many times at this point. And yes, it did strengthen my will and my resilience, but if anybody here has failed multiple times, you would know that it eventually catches up to you. You'll eventually doubt yourself. It might be after the first fall, it might be after the 10th fall, it might be after the 100th fall. But these small failures, they eventually build up. And they will eventually attack you and just make you pretty much, I guess, not give up, but, well, technically, yeah, just basically they will try to make you to give up every time. And the more failures there are, the more easy it is to give in to this uh, give up state. And I was gonna do it. I was gonna just uh, stop everything that I was doing in terms of streaming, in terms of people. I was basically gonna shut myself off and just take a break from literally everything. Not even use games, not even um, talk to. Actually, no, I would have probably still talked to one person, but other than that, I would have shut myself off completely. But literally yesterday, I thought to myself, that would probably be the same as giving up. That for the first time, this horse would actually win the battle. And I thought to myself that I cannot accept that. I've fallen off this horse so many times. To give up now would mean that every single time that I got back up was a waste of time. Every single effort that I've put in would have been a waste of time if I were to give up. And I guess, as Goku said to Gohan, I am better than this. I am better than him. Uh, yeah. But I also realize that I'm currently not exactly in the emotional slash mental state to be able to try my hardest like I've been trying this whole time. So I came up with a slightly different approach to this. I am just gonna take a break. I am going to step back from the horse. I'm gonna get back up, but I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna try and see if there's any way that I can, I guess, strengthen myself any way that I can turn this around and come back with new energy eventually. Because I do want to keep going. I do want to keep streaming. I do want to keep trying my hardest. And I do eventually want to turn this channel and my own life into something happy, not just for me, but for everybody else around me. Whether it's random people that just stop by to watch this stream, whether I'm gonna be having emotional or serious talks like this in the future, or we're just gonna play good old Don't Starve Together or any of the other games that I've played on this channel and just chill, have fun, listen to a bunch of random music, and basically be happy together. I definitely want to be able to do that. But I also want to take a break for the first time in my life. Because thinking back on it, I've never truly had a break. When I was a kid, I dealt with too much stuff, abuse, basically just struggling for my own life, abandonment, you name it, I've dealt with it. After basically for 6 years almost, I basically lived in hell. And after I technically left said hell, I was still in a bad place where I just kept thinking that I'm still in hell for another 6 years. And I wasn't able to truly, I guess, be normal, or I guess live like a child should, if that makes any sense. And only after those additional 6 years did I slowly start to realize that I'm finally out of the hell that I've been through. That I can finally take control of my own life and try to fix the things that are needed to be fixed. Because otherwise, I probably would end up in a much worse situation. And that's when I basically started to work hard on everything to try and fix things, to try and make things better. And only recently did I realize that I've literally just been on the front lines this whole time. Even when I was out of hell, even when I was in a, I guess, open world environment, if that makes any sense, I was still fighting the strongest monsters that this new world has provided me with. Because that's just what happens when you're turning into an adult and no one else is there around you to be able to give you even a little bit of tips. Even if I were to fight a single slime, I guess in this metaphor, I would still probably have struggled immensely. Just because I had to figure stuff out on my own without any help. And only eventually, 2 years ago, I think, basically around the time that I started my channel. Actually, no, technically 2.5 years ago, because that was when the first sort of glimmer of light came into my life. And some of you might know them as uh, Lily Sin and Nikki Ray. They were pretty much uh, somehow the first people that were able to kind of give me happiness with their content, with their streams, with their, I guess, uh, communities, and all that sort of stuff. And after that, I was able to get some more, I guess, personal connections in my own life. I was actually able to have friends for pretty much the first time in my life. And for the first time, basically, 2 years ago, I was finally not alone. And that time, I could also clearly see it. There were probably people who tried to help me when I was younger, like during high school and uh, a little bit after high school. But at that time, I was so emotionally unavailable that I probably didn't even notice or forcefully just pushed them away from me because I just didn't trust them. I thought, oh, this person is going to use me. This person is going to stab me or hurt me or just be a bad person like everybody else up until that point in my life. And 2 years ago, was the first time that I was able to finally trust somebody, which led me to get to know more people, which led me to having found the happiest place I've ever been in, which led me to having a best friend. I've never had that before. Oh, I apologize if you can hear my tears, by the way. This is what happens with anxiety. It just sticks, just makes you cry for literal hours. Anyway, for the first time, I was just truly, truly happy. But with every uphill, there's also a downhill. And sadly, at this point in time, I have lost that happy place. And this is one of the reasons, or technically the main reason, that I want to take a step back. That I want to look at myself and see how I can be happy without relying on other people, pretty much. Because I shouldn't, right? There's this saying, you need to love yourself first before you can, I guess, love somebody else. I'm not entirely sure if this is the correct saying. And I, at this point, don't know if I do. I thought I did. I honestly thought I did. Because I was happy with myself during this whole time. Or, I guess not with myself, but mm, actually, I don't even know how to really explain this, but I probably wasn't. The reason I was happy is because for the first time I've had other people to be happy with. I was happy, but it wasn't because I made myself happy. It was because everybody else made me happy. Hmm. Anyway, so basically, I will say that the decision that I came up with is to take a step back for now, to take a little bit of a rest so that I can think about everything, so that I can properly see what it is that I want to do going forward and try to approach this better, at least this time. So the main announcement is, yes, as you can see by the title, I will definitely be taking a break. I'm not sure for how long. It could be a month, it could be 2, it could be 3, it could be half a year. But I definitely want to take a step back and I want to make sure that the next time that I try this, that the next time I get out of my void, I guess, so to speak, that I am better than I am now, and better than I ever was. In pretty much as many aspects as I could possibly improve about myself. I don't know if I'm gonna be trying my hardest to do this, because, at least from previous learning points, me just trying my hardest was pretty much over exhausting me. So I will probably put moderate effort into it, at least for now, because I also just want to rest. I definitely need a break. And once I do return, we will have an amazing, or maybe not an amazing, but we will have a re-debut, pretty much. I don't know if this is going to be still the same channel. Maybe it'll be a completely new beginning in a new channel. Or maybe it'll be just a complete overhaul of the stuff that I currently have. Don't worry, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna delete the past. I'm gonna say that. Uh, I'm a person who will always carry my past with me, because that is what made me who I am today. So this channel is definitely gonna stay up, even if I'm gonna make a different one for whatever reason. And I'm still gonna be available in DMs. I'm still probably gonna be using Twitter to repost or post some stuff. I might just do fan art for random people to maybe improve my own drawing skills a little bit. I did have a few thoughts of re-debut stuff, kind of things that I would want to do, depending on if, I guess, this is going to continue on this channel or perhaps a new one, is remain to be seen, but I might do some small things here and there, uh, just to upload, just to update and do stuff. And maybe even just guerrilla streams of me playing some Don't Starve or, I don't know, other games. If I ever feel like it. I was also planning to play today, but I honestly just woke up later than I thought I would. I was gonna wake up early, start the stream very, very early so that we can have enough time to have a good run of Don't Starve. But it's already too late in my time. If we start now, I'm just gonna make too much noise. And sadly, I can't do that just yet. Uh, but yeah, this is pretty much the rent, the stuff, and the reasoning for my current hiatus slash break reasoning, if that makes any sense. If anybody wants to talk to me, feel free to DM me on Discord. I might not answer right away. I might not answer everything. But it is appreciated. And yeah, that's basically it. So, for the last time for this stream, and until we meet again in the future, thank you, everybody, so much for watching. You guys have been absolutely amazing. I am definitely going to miss this while I'm away. And as I said, this is not a goodbye. I will probably still do some gorillas here and there. And I will probably still, or not probably, I will definitely still be active on Twitter and at least in DMs on Discord for now. And I will work as hard as I can so that one day I can be truly back again. And this place will be a much more fun and a much more relaxing place to spend time in. We're gonna play games and actually finish them. I don't think I've ever finished any of the games that we've played so far, which is another, I guess, kerfuffle on my part. We're gonna make an actual full Don't Starve run of defeating all of the bosses, or at least most of them. And we're going to build a community where people can come here to be happier, to talk, to be silly, to laugh, and to cry, and to be sad. If anybody would need it, I would definitely be here to be a listening ear to people in need. Because I know what it's like to have nobody. I know what it's like to not trust and not get help when you should get it. So I definitely want this place to eventually be that. A safe place where as many people or a safe place where we can make people happier than they were before. As many as we can. Or, who knows? Maybe I'll just embrace my monster self and just be a completely villainous character that just does silly things and, I don't know, chaos. I'm gonna embrace the sin, if anybody gets that reference. Yeah. But, yeah. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching this stream. I'm gonna go. Actually, I have no idea what I'm gonna do after this. I guess I'll see. And have a good day, good morning, good night, whatever time of day it is for you. And I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody. Bye, 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 bye.